that I could share it on my.
Yep. I'm going to send you the YouTube link.
Perfect.
When
I
I
share it on mine.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Savvy Women of Social Media. Today, we are speaking with Laurie on the real estate market, the current real estate market. Thank you, Laurie, for being so kind to
Very
reschedule for
welcome.
next week. So Laurie brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise about the Rochester real estate market. So we're both from Rochester, New York. And she works at the Nowak team. She has been involved in the real estate industry since 2017 and joined the Don Nowak team in 2020. As a buyer's specialist, she specializes in guiding buyers through the buying process, communicating and paying attention to the details throughout the entire process. Her strength lies in helping people navigate through this crazy market, which it is, while making them feel comfortable during the buying experience. Laurie has raised 3 sons and now has 2 adorable, and I will agree, adorable grandchildren.
Thank you.
Oh, I love seeing that.
They're my heart.
Yes, that are the light of her life. She and Art, her husband, a native Rochesterian, live in Penfield. In her spare time, Laurie enjoys quilting, painting, and baking. Welcome, Laurie.
Thanks, Michelle.
So good to see you.
I know, it's always nice to spend time with you.
Oh, so the real estate market. So what's the real estate market like right now?
You know what? That's the first question everybody asks me. I'm in the bank. Oh, you're a realtor. What's the market like?
Yeah.
So,
because it is always changing.
It is always changing. Right now, it's a little slow because it's wintertime. January, February, it seems like around Valentine's Day, around this week, and this what's happened again this year. We start getting more calls for, I think we want to sell our house and buy something new, or we want to buy a house. I think a lot of people have those conversations after the holidays, like, man, this house was so crowded at the holidays, we need something bigger. Or, you know, the kids are all gone and we have all this space. Why are we rattling around? So we get a lot of calls around now, and which is nice because we can prep them and work with them to get their houses ready to sell. Because I'm not only a buyer's agent, I do listings also, but mostly I love working with buyers. So right now the market is not as crazy as it was last year, where you were seeing 175, 50,000 over asking. There's still a couple, like Pittsford is still 100,000 over asking. It's just nuts there. I don't know why, but it is. But most places I'm finding that I'm getting my clients' houses at asking or maybe 10 or 20 over. So it's calmed down. It's not as fiery hot. It has helped that the interest rates have gone up a little bit. They went up to 7.5 for a while. Now they're back down to the 6s. If you look over the last 50 years, the average interest rate has been 8%. And you just go with the rate that's there. When I bought my place, it was 8%. And when it went down to 3, I refinanced, right? So, yeah.
I've done that before too. So how many houses are on the market right now in our area?
In our area, in Monroe County, there's a little over 400. If you take houses in the city out, and if you're just looking in the suburbs, because some people don't want city school district, they want a specific suburban district, you're looking at a little over 200. And I feel like I've got 200 clients looking for houses. So last year at this time, for example, we had 700 houses on the market in the county. So it's very low. I think the higher interest rates people are going, well, you know, I don't want to pay a higher interest rate because I've just refinanced it at a lower rate. So trying to find, but I'm seeing more and more houses. Like I was telling you earlier, I've been out showing houses all day today. I get done with this, I'm out showing houses again all day tomorrow, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday, because houses are starting to come on the market. So the numbers have probably changed from when I looked at them yesterday, with new houses coming up.
So not everybody knows as well, wasn't in your bio, but you're also in the marketing field. You own what company?
Blue Lilac Marketing Group.
Okay. So how has your marketing background helped grow your business? Because you were new to real estate in 2020, you joined this team. So how have you grown your business with that marketing background?
Having the ability to understand marketing and the value of it, as well as using social media. I do a lot of videos. When I'm doing an open house, I'll do a video. You know, I'll get there early put the camera up, and sometimes on the first take, but not always. I get my video done. I'm not going to show the bloopers where I'm going blah 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 blah. But I put up and I post that right away. But earlier in the week, I posted that I'm doing an open house, and so we share all that information, and then as a team we boost it too, so that it's out there. Having experience doing graphics using like Canva, which is so easy. It's been fabulous to be able to put those, open house or new listing or even just social media posts out there. So that's how I've been using the marketing, as well as my other aspects of marketing from media standpoints. We differentiate ourselves as a team when we're listing your house by, we have a relationship, we advertise on Legends 1027. And if your house is is going to be open that weekend, we promote it on the radio. And I'm always amazed at the number of people that come in when I say, so how did you hear about my open house? They'll say, oh, I listened to Legends. Great. I like to know that our advertising dollars are working for us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how does the Don Nowick team help you get yourself out there as well? Because if
that's part of it.
And I come to your office and I want to work with you, how does your office help people, new realtors, get found?
Well, our team specifically, we're a part of Keller Williams. So Keller Williams is a really good brand here, but our team specifically, we've posted on our team website, and then our team all shares it on their personal website or Facebook page, I should say. So it goes out, and it's also on our website. So our Facebook page, our website, and of course, Instagram, we use that a lot too.
So the last interview we did, we talked about staging the house and all of that. But if you're looking for a house, how does a buyer really go and look for a house? What if they don't know what they really want? How do you help them?
Well, that's part of the, I usually try and meet with a client before I actually take them into a house. I get them to either meet me in my office or I buy them coffee someplace. And we have a buyer packet that we go over with them, which explains, and they're probably ready to have their head explode because so much information, but it explains about the buying process. And then I ask them questions like, so why are you selling? What's your why? Why are you looking? So either why are you selling and why are you buying? Like the house is too big, I want smaller, or the house is too small, I want bigger. So in bigger, what do you want? What are you looking for? Are you a chef? Do you really like to cook, or do you like to bake? Do you like to entertain? What's important? And that'll help me guide me to what houses I think would be good for them. Quite often it's just budget, and people are like, well, my kids are in Rush Henrietta School District, I want to stay in Rush Henrietta. We do a lot of business in the Rush Henrietta School District. It's a fabulous district. Why not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people will sometimes direct that that's what they're looking for. And then, so we want, like I've got one couple right now that are looking to downsize. Their youngest is heading off to college, and they figure if they sell their really big house and buy a smaller house, they'll have extra money to be able to help the kids with their college debt, which is nice. And they won't have as much house to take care of, but still have rooms for them to come home to on breaks.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's what we're looking for. We're downsizing into something that's a little smaller than this sprawling, almost 3,000 square foot house. They want something around 1,800, which is quite doable. So yeah, I work with people like that. We ask questions. And then as we're looking at houses, I can always tell what resonates, by just look on their face, like, oh, this kitchen's not doing it for me, or this kitchen's fabulous. So then, they like the kitchen, but there's something else that they're not a fan of. So I make notes, because I've got so many clients. I make notes in their files so that when I am looking, I can reference back and go, okay, they've got a dog, they want a fenced in yard, they like this, very updated kitchen, or they want something that they can make their own and remodel. So they don't want something that's been redone.
Yeah. Have you ever found a house that you know for sure somebody is going to like before you even show them?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have. I've looked online and gone, oh my gosh. And that's when I call the clients and go, oh my God, we have to go see this. Now, I have to preface this where I've done that a couple times and I've been wrong. because our photographer's job is to make the house look as fabulous as possible to get you in there. So one client, I had called him and said, okay, hon, we got to go look at this house. I saw it online. Take a look at the pictures. It's perfect for you. All the way out in Churchville. So it was like a 45-minute drive for both of us. I get there and it's like, oh my God, it was a hot mess. The one picture of the kitchen was the one side of the kitchen that they had remodeled. The other side needed to be, I mean, the rest of the kitchen, the other 80% of the kitchen needed to be blown up and started over again. It was just like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so always keep that in mind if you're house hunting, to know that the photographers make the house look as beautiful as possible, and that it may look different in person. I've seen houses where I've thought, oh, this would be perfect for my client. The kitchen looks huge, and you get there and the kitchen's really not that big. They just, the way they photographed it.
Be deceiving, unfortunately.
Exactly. That's why I never want anybody, like I've had people go, I really want that house. I don't even need to see it. I'm going to put an offer in. I'm like, oh, no. We need to look at it. I mean, there's so much stuff you need to look at, not only the upstairs, but the structure, the basement. I had one client that I was showing a house, and it's a single mom with her daughter, and the house was stinking cute. I'm thinking, oh my God, I would live here. It's so adorable. And we're talking about the offer. I said, hey, wait a minute. You know what? We haven't gone down in the basement. Let's just go take a quick look, a peek at the furnace and all that. We get downstairs and the floors were all braced up, and they weren't braced up like from an engineer doing it. It was like poles with wood shivs in there. And I'm thinking, this floor is going to collapse unless you spend another $40,000 to $50,000 having a structural engineer come in and put in the poles that you need that are cemented in and screwed into the wood beams. So yeah, I felt so awful because it was like, it ticked all the boxes for her except for the basement. Yeah.
So with houses selling way over market, how many offers does a buyer usually put in before they say, okay, I'm done, or yes, I got the offer? Or
it all depends on how picky they are. I've got some that are very picky, and I tell them it's difficult in this market. If you don't, one thing I always tell my clients is pick a number and go as far as until you feel like you want to throw up. And that's the number. That's your maximum. That makes you want to be sick to your stomach. That's where you stop. That's as high an offer as you go. I never want anyone to be house poor, but there are, there's some houses out there that it's just so difficult to.
And why is that? Why are they going so above asking price?
Because there's, especially when the interest rates were lower, it's so hard to, it was so many people competing against for a little house, for fewer houses. We'd be getting 20, 25 offers on a house, and we'd have, 100 and some showings. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's just unreal. And we'd end up, usually you get the showing time privately, but when it's very popular, we have to overlap. So you'd be in there with another couple or maybe two couples, looking at the house. So there's a lot of fierce competition, and people got crazy. I had clients, one client walked out of this house in Pittsburgh, and it was early on in the craziness, and it was listed at $395. He walked out, it checked all the boxes, but it was a 30-year-old kitchen, white carpeting that had stains. It just needed a whole bunch of stuff, right? Yeah. He came out and he said, $595. I'm like, okay, apparently you really like this house. So they went up to $595. Do you think they got that house? Heck no. Somebody came in $600 all cash. There have been so many all cash deals. It's been crazy. And I just don't want my clients to, I talk myself out of commission all the time because I want them to not feel like I pressured them. I would never do that, but that they had to buy a house, or that, I always tell them the right one will come along. It just takes time. You have to be patient.
I was going to say, how long usually is the process from the time? And then I want to ask you another question about how people pick a realtor, but how long after the process, how long does it usually take, that process?
Some people I've been working with for a couple of years because they're extremely picky.
Yeah.
Other people I had one client, I showed them one house, and then they went to an open house, liked the open house. I wrote an offer and they got the open house. I'm like, okay, that was I mean, I hardly had any interaction. Usually I get to know my clients, we become friends, we go out for lunch, that kind of stuff, right? I love my clients. Oh my God, I've got some wonderful clients. And then other clients, I've got files that are this thick because I've been taking them out looking, and they just don't get the off, it's
Mm.
been a lot of competition for the house and they haven't been high enough. Right now, even still, it's still a seller's market here. So asking for a home inspection, which I hate not having anybody have their home inspected. Usually a home inspection is a honey-do list. It's your list of things to do the first 6 to 9 months that you've owned the house. Like, make sure you maybe change the water heater, definitely put in new smoke detectors, maybe change out some outlets. It's rarely anything major. But for the times that it is something major, I would really like to have them have that ability to have a home inspection.
And how do you keep them motivated to keep going?
It's usually them that are motivated. They really want a house. They're tired of renting, or their rent went up astronomically. One of my clients just told me that their rent's going up $200 a month. I'm like, holy cow. And yeah, so I said, well, can you go month to month? He says, it's going to even cost me more. I'm like, well, when we've been looking since October and we haven't found anything. Very picky client though.
So if I'm a new buyer and I'm
Mhm.
looking for either a real estate company or a person or whatever, and I'm doing all this research, what should somebody look for when it comes to finding that, not that anybody's perfect, but that perfect person who's going to help you find your dream home?
Well, there's a perfect realtor for you. For me, I love working with first-time home buyers, young couples, and that yet Dawn and Jen Bernetti, who's on my team, they both have their senior designation. They like to work with seniors. That's not I mean, not that I don't mind work. I have senior clients, but I really love momming. I tell my clients, the young ones, I'm going to mom you because you're about my kids' age. Right? They're in their 30s. They're like my kids' age, right?
I've done that
I'm
a few
going to
times.
mom you, and then I'm going to mom you, and then the mortgage person I'm connecting you with is going to mom you too. And they're like, okay, we want to be mommed, and I'm going to talk to you like, if you were my kids, would I let you live in this house? And they like that. They appreciate that. So look at their reviews online. Some realtors are just not responsive. Most people can't tell you who sold their house to them 2 years afterwards, because the realtors like sold the house and they're on to the next deal. Our team, we keep in touch with our clients. Like, see, you may not be my client, but you're in my sphere of influence. So I send you a birthday card with a lottery ticket.
And I won. Yes.
And you won. Yay.
So
So we do that every month. I send out cards. And then if it's their house anniversary, I send an anniversary card. It may be 1 year, it may be 5 years. And then we do a big client party in the fall that we invite our clients to, and kind of celebrate them. And then it's referrals from them because they've been happy with us, that they want their friends to experience the same thing that they had with us. So that's nice.
That's so cool, because like I said, you are buying your dream home and you need somebody who's really going to understand what you're looking for.
Yep.
And what is going to make it so perfect for you. Now, Amanda, if you have any questions, I know you're muted. Please let us know and ask Laurie.
Sure.
What makes your team different when it comes to selling a house?
For selling a house, Dawn has been, before she was a realtor, she's been a realtor for, I think, 7 or 8 years. She owned a staging company in Buffalo. That's where she's from. Her husband's job moved them here to Rochester, and she thought, I've been in real estate, so she's had 10 years experience as a home stager, working for realtors. So she brings that, and she's educated her team, me and Jen Vernetti, on the intricacies of staging a house. And I can always pull her in if I need to. And so we offer that as a freebie to our clients, free home staging. And we have a ton of vendors that we know, like, and trust, that if you need help fixing something, like if we come over and we've looked at your house and we say, okay, you need to paint this room, you need to change out that faucet or fix that leaky faucet or whatever, we've got plumbers and painters and roofers and carpenters and handymen that can do these kind of jobs for you. Yes, you're going to pay for it if you're not handy to do it yourself, but we offer that to our clients. And our vendors know that it's not, if we get 3 reports from somebody that they're not happy with you, we're going to take you out. No, we get 1 thing that you haven't returned a call, you're off our list. I'm sorry. We're very, very picky. So we're a little bit perfectionist like that. Also, the radio station advertising that we do, if you're selling your house and we're doing an open house, we advertise that. I'm sorry, my phone is an iPhone and it's connected to my computer, so you hear dinging, right? I'm sorry.
It's
I
okay. You're
apologize.
fine.
I've got it muted, but the dings still happen. Just a dingling. So anyhow, we advertise. We advertise on the radio. So we advertise your open house. Yes, we hold open houses. Even during COVID, we were doing that. It's a lot less stressful now with it not being so worried about COVID, to have people just walk in and out, as opposed to calling you or texting you that you're the next ones in, which was what we had to do. Only one family in, or if it was busy, 1 up, 1 down, and then switch. It was crazy. So, and we really are a very communicative team. We've got not only the 3 agents, but we have an administrative assistant, we have a marketing person, and we have a transaction coordinator and an operations person. So between all of them, they're making sure that all your paperwork is correct. If you need anything, if I'm not around, they are there that they can help you. And if you're just same thing with if you buy a house, they are the ones that help. They do the emails for me to the attorneys and to the bank. But I'm in the loop, so I know if hey, we're going to close early, I can let you have that good news that, hey, we're going to get you in there early, order that moving truck.
So it's really important to have that team. See,
Yeah.
myself, I'm just me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
And even with your marketing company, you have Mary, which is
I
really
have Mary. Yep. The 2 of
Yeah.
us. Yep.
So I met you when you were just doing your marketing company.
Yep.
What made you go to real estate?
Dawn was actually one of my clients.
Okay.
And doing her social media for her. And she, at the time, was at Howard Hanna, and she decided she wanted to start a team. And she says, you know what, I want to write a book. So a training book for anybody I hire, that they do it my way. Okay. She's got her own processes, her own way of doing things. And it's been very successful for her and for us too, as a team. And so when I got done helping her write the book and format it, her comment was, so when are you taking your real estate license exam? I'm like, well, I got to take the classes first. And I've always enjoyed houses. I've always thought I would have fun being a realtor, but it's one of those things that when you've got young children, you just can't. I don't know how some of the young moms do it, because I left the house at 7:00 this morning, popped in to do this, and I'm heading out again. I probably won't be home till 8:30, 9:00. And with kids, you feed them once, they kind of expect it the next night too.
Yeah, they kind of do.
They
Yeah,
kind of do.
mine
So,
wants there to tuck them in at bed at night because I'm gonna.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. All that mom stuff, and sign whatever you got to sign. And
How dare they?
I know. But so now that my kids are all grown and flown the coop, my husband's fabulous about, go do your thing. So I'm heading out to dinner tonight with my niece, and he's having dinner with one of his buddies. So, and we make it work, and he's okay, very supportive, which you need. But I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's just, it's a passion, and I get to use my marketing skills too. So it combines everything I love. But I still step into my Blue Lilac marketing group when I need to. Mary's still running that for us, and I step in when I need to.
And I was going to say, because you are with a team and you do the advertising, you're still your own business owner. You're still running your business. So if you didn't have the radio station and you didn't have the marketing experience, how would you get yourself out there to grow your business?
Networking. I mean, that's how we started with our Blue Lilac too. And not only doing social media, but it felt like there were two people on a corner. We were there talking to them about, do you need some marketing help, right? You know that you're involved in numerous marketing, networking
For
groups.
somebody who's new to running their own business.
Anything, join a chamber. I'm active in, I belong to the Gates Child Chamber. We joined that because Mary was involved when we started out, and been active in that. And I live in Penfield, so I joined the Penfield Chamber. Now I'm on the chamber board as director of programs and events, and that's why I've got you speaking on LinkedIn next month. And everybody's really excited. Let me tell you, so just be prepared. Bring lots of cards, because I think I
will.
I think the Rotary people.
Lori and Lori and I have known each other for a very long time.
Yes,
and
we have.
Through networking, and that's how you do it, really. And then you, even though she does social media, I really focus on LinkedIn. And that's what I love to teach on. So she knows if somebody has a LinkedIn question.
Yeah, exactly.
Hear about LinkedIn.
I don't, my role, everyone knows me at the Penfield Chamber as a realtor, and I don't want to confuse them by doing any marketing presentations. So I'm going to call in experts like you that I know. But yeah, networking is a great way to get out there. Be involved in a charity. That's also another great way to get your business known, whether it's real estate or any other small business.
Yeah. So when it comes to marketing, again, like somebody is new to this, because I know we have a couple of new members in the group who are just starting a business. If they know nothing about marketing, so let's put on your marketing cap for a minute. Okay. How would people do that? Because I know there's some realtors in here as well. How do you market yourself as a realtor with all the competition out there?
You just need to find your tribe. You're going to walk into a group and you're going to know that those are your people because you feel comfortable and at home. And even if there are other realtors, your personality, like I know I'm very out there and I'm not for everybody, and that's okay. And I love some people want somebody a little more laid back and relaxed, more chill. I'm very and blah, 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 blah. Here we go. I have to really work at talking slower for some of my clients. I have a lot of clients from Ethiopia, Nepal, Pakistan, Lebanon. I mean, a lot of international clients. Their English is not their first language. And when I start, and they're like, slow down. I'm like, okay, I have to mentally tell myself to not talk so fast so they can keep up with me.
That's funny because you are, and I love that about you though. So how did they find you? If they're from
referrals from their friends.
Okay.
A couple have found me from my reviews online. So that's another way. Of course, you have to have had some sales. Mm-hmm. So, either buyers or sellers that have been happy with you that have done Google reviews for you. And they're out there so people can find them, so that you can have those great words from clients. I mean, some of my clients one of them, I really worked hard for this couple to get them a house, and for them and their 3 children. And the review she sent me, I'm sitting there in my office with tears running down my face, and Dawn comes in, she says, "You okay?" I'm like, "You got to read my review," because it was just so emotional that, I didn't even realize. I knew I was really helping them, but I didn't realize the impact that I had in their life. And, it just humbles you to help people, to be able to do what you got to do, finagle that deal, make it happen. Sometimes you're up till midnight negotiating. And I got to tell you, I've got my certification as a certified real estate negotiator. So those are extra.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Yeah, there's certifications for everything, but you have to go take the classes and pass the exams to get certified. So I've got that, but it helps me when I'm at midnight negotiating for a client on a house. But to be able to have them get a house that they can afford and that they're happy with, in a school district that they love, and it just, all those things, they all fell into place. That's the way it always happens. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, because we'd go out on a Saturday and look at 4 or 5 houses, and they'd make offers and nothing happened. And they, it just, it was tough. And it just all fell into place. And the review was just heartwarming. Mm-hmm. And, I love my clients, and obviously they love me too, which is so nice.
Oh, you're very easy to fall in love with.
Oh, thank you, honey. I love you too. You know that.
Um, so if you are looking to become a realtor and you go take your test and you pass, if you didn't know the Dawn team already, the Dawn Nowak team already, what do you look for when you want to join a team?
Well, first of all, you need to look for the agency you want to be in. So once you've got your license, and I get a lot of agents coming around getting tours at Keller Williams. They go and they look at Howard Hanna, they go look at Keller Williams and Hunt and Remax, and just to see, does it feel like this is where they belong? I'll share you our story. We started out, like I said, at Howard Hanna, and I was there with Dawn when I first started, and that's where I got my license through Howard Hanna. And then as she was growing her team, they aren't set up for team. They are perfect if you're a solo agent. You know, they've got all the classes, everything for a solo agent. And Keller Williams is very much a team oriented. Property Girls, Amanda Friend team, Mark Seawick, you know, names that are very recognizable. And the Dawn Nowak team's in there. She used to walk away from the stage at the awards for Keller or Howard Hanna with her arms loaded with awards, and doing the same thing here at Keller Williams. But it was just a completely different atmosphere. At Howard Hanna, I felt like people were like, this is my information. I'm not going to share it with you because you might be successful. At Keller Williams, oh, you want to know how I do this? Well, I have a 12-step process. Would you like me to show you how I do it? I can even send you the steps. Everybody is like that. And so I feel like we found our tribe. There's also, if you're looking to be a real estate agent, you want to look at what the commission is. Some real estate companies like Howard Hanna, they take a percentage of your commission always, no matter how much you sell. At Keller Williams, you sell I think it's 1.2 or 1.5 million, and then you're 100% commission. They don't take anything off of you. So it's basically $10,000 to them. And that works out to be about 1.2 or 1.5 million dollars in commission, in sales. So it's called capping. So when you cap, so I capped in November. So all my sales after that are 100% commission until my anniversary date, which is next October.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And how long have you been with the Dawn Nowak team?
Dawn Nowak team since 20 or 21, something like that. Yeah.
So you brought up COVID, and I know we're still getting out of it and used to it and out networking, all that. How did it affect you with your business? Because you were new to real estate, a couple years new to real estate. So how did it affect you?
It just made showing houses and communicating with clients very difficult, because you've got the mask and you've got, so that muffles some people that are soft speakers anyhow. It's like, oh my gosh, you need to speak up. And then doing open houses was so challenging. We had a QR code on a sheet on the door that people would scan, and they could fill in their information, and that would come to my phone. So I would know that Joe was, here first, and then Tom, and then Nancy, and then Sue. And so I would text Joe and say, hey, Joe, it's your turn to come in. And then when he'd leave, I'd text the next person. So it was much more difficult I captured all that information, the name, the phone number, the email, because they had to fill that in if they wanted to get in the house. But everybody was sitting out in their car waiting for an open house. And it was just horrible. It was very difficult to get people. How do you feel comfortable in that kind of situation? Yeah,
that's crazy.
It was crazy.
I think because I'm just my own person, I do computer work basically. I think it didn't really bother me that much. But yeah, to talk to other women and just see how it affected their shops or, their business.
Oh yeah.
So you're a small business. What are some small business tips that you've learned that you can give to other women entrepreneurs who are just starting out or have been doing it for a while?
Yeah. Well, if it's not your expertise, hire out. If you're not good at making a logo, hire somebody, hire a marketing person. So you can do what you're good at. and maybe what you like to do. If doing, making the widgets, we always use that widget as an example. If making widgets is your passion and that's all you want to do, there's all that bookkeeping and the marketing and the sales, all that stuff. There are people that are small business owners also that do those jobs. It can be financially challenging when you're first starting out, because you do have to wear all those hats. But once you start making some money, take that money and invest it in your business, invest it in yourself, because it'll give you time as a business owner that you need. Because part of why you started your business was to probably to have a little more work-life balance. And when you own your own business, it's all work, because you're probably in your office at home, right? And you just, same here. I walk by my office. If I can go into my office for 15 minutes, 4 hours later, right? Exactly. There's always something to do. So find somebody that's a bookkeeper, hire a marketing company, hire somebody to do your social media, and you work it out with them. You can either just bless and release and let them go for it, or have them send it to you for approval. I still, in my marketing business, do social media for some clients, and I've got a doctor that I do social media for. I'm not a doctor. And I write blogs for him, and I do a social media. I send him everything every month for his approval, to make sure that I've got it correct, that I'm not saying something incorrect, something wrong that would,
especially with medical.
Exactly. So, hire somebody to do that kind of stuff for you. It just will make you much more profitable in the long run.
So how do you balance everything? I know you said you don't have kids and you got a great supportive husband, just like I do, but how do you balance between the real estate, the marketing, seeing those beautiful grandkids? Because I know sometimes you go take trips because they're not local.
No,
so
they're
how
in
do
San
you
Diego,
balance everything?
There are days where it's like, why am I doing this? Or days where, who needs to sleep, right? But most of the time, I'm a very organized person. So having that organizational mindset allows me to say, okay, I'm only going to work on this for so long, and then I'm going to go off and do whatever. Or I've got an hour here, let me go and take care of this.
And because you work for a team, you have people that you could go talk to. But for somebody who doesn't have a team, how do you find your tribe?
That's kind of like I said, walk into some place and you feel that, you'll know. You've got that comfort feeling, like these people are friendly and welcoming, and they're like you in that respect. I don't mean that your viewpoints are going to be the same on everything. That's what makes the world go round, is to have people that have different points of view. But you'll know when you get there if it's someplace that is welcoming and makes you feel comfortable, that's probably someplace that you might want to come back to and join and be a part of, and help make it welcoming for the next new person.
Yeah, that's cool. So, all right, back to real estate. So what are some tips that you can give homeowners who are looking to sell?
Contact a realtor before you do anything else. And we will come in and help you determine what needs to be done. There's some things people think, oh, I need to, rip out the carpeting, or I need to paint, or whatever, or I'll put in a brand new bathroom. I had one client do that. I'm like, why? I mean, if you're going to live there, do that, but why? And whatever. Some people, it's just whatever. I just let them do their thing. But, we will help you determine what will get you the most value for your money. Sometimes it's as simple as taking down all your personal stuff, so that buyers, when they come in, they see themselves in the house. They're not looking at your diplomas, your awards, your kids' pictures, that kind of thing. It's take all the magnets off the refrigerator with your kids' artwork. Take down your awards, put those away, hide anything personal. Like if I came into your house, in your office, you've got all your Lucy stuff, I would tell you to pack that up. And part of it is you're getting ready to move anyhow. Just pack it up and stick it all in the garage. Boxes in the garage are good. That tells the buyers, oh, they're really moving. They're not just thinking about it. They're really moving because they've got stuff packed up. Because I've had it happen where we bought a house, the guy changed his mind that night after we said yes. He called and said, I'm not selling the house now. And so my the realtor had to call me and I had to call my clients who were crying that they didn't get the house that they wanted, that they thought they got. Yeah.
Yeah.
So having stuff packed up tells me that you're moving and tells the buyers that you're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So call that realtor, and then that's calling the handyman, to get that painting done if you're not a painter, and to fix that leaky faucet, and do whatever it is that we tell you that needs to be done.
And then if you're a buyer, what are some tips for that?
I try and set realistic expectations that it's going to take a while. You may not find your dream house. So many kids are, young people especially, they've been watching HGTV and they think they should walk into a 2,500 square foot house with granite countertops. And I mean, come on, I would love that, but I don't have that. There's something to be said about the stories you can tell later on in years if you struggled and you lived in that little 1-bedroom apartment and then started out in a little tiny 2-bedroom house and then went to a 3-bedroom and then got your 3,000 square foot house, right?
Yeah.
You work up to it. You're not going to walk into there. And I'm not going to show you, if your budget is 150, I'm not taking you to a $300,000 house, because you will never be happy with a 150 house ever, because it's not going to have the vinyl plank flooring and or the hardwoods or the solid surface countertops. It's just not at 150. So I tell my buyers to have realistic expectations. I tell them that it's not always price. It's terms too. Sometimes not having an inspection will do it. If the sellers are looking to get out of town real quick, we want a fast close. And if you're working with a mortgage company that I work with a lot, like Premium Mortgage, I can call them and say, can I get a mortgage commitment in 2 weeks? That way I can get, we can do it in 5 weeks instead of the 8 weeks to normally close on a house.
Mm-hmm.
Or if the buyers the sellers need to stay in the house for a month or so afterwards, let them stay. Don't charge them rent. Your first month of your ownership is usually free anyhow. You don't kick in your mortgage until the next month, because you pay a month after your mortgage. So there's terms that we can work out, deals that we can, like, oh, you got all this stuff in the house, don't worry about taking it out. That's how I just got another client a house. This couple are getting divorced. There's a bunch of crap in the house, basically. And it's like, all right, well, just leave it all there. My clients will take care of moving it. If you want to move it out, that's fine, but you don't have to. And I think that's one of the things that got them the house, was that we were okay with them just leaving all that stuff. Okay.
So what has been the biggest success story for you?
I think a couple off-market deals that I've done for me has been, and they're not big sales. Like one was 162 and another one was 125. And the 125 was the one that their review was the one that made me cry.
Yeah.
But this couple was in a with 3 children in a 2-bedroom, half a house. So 3 kids in 1 bedroom. I don't know how they were doing it. And from what they were telling me, it sounded like their landlord in Henrietta was a bit of a slumlord, just not taking care of things. And they would fix things up, but they wouldn't get any money back on their rent for doing anything, and we had looked and looked and looked and looked and looked, and no luck at their price point. And what was available was just horrible. Well, a cute house that Dawn had sold, the deal was falling apart. And so I told Dawn, I said, I'm going to take my clients through and we're going to write an offer if they like it. That way, if the deal falls apart, we've got an offer in hand. So I took them through the house, and of course they loved it. Oh my God, they loved it. We wrote an offer and on a Saturday and submitted it. And on Monday, the bank said, oh no, so you're not going to get the house. All right. I felt bad. So during the week, it was like a roller coaster for me. I didn't tell my clients what was going on, but we got the call from the bank on Friday that not happening. I mean, they were supposed to have closed a month ago. It was just not happening. And so my Dawn called me and said, do your clients still want that house? I said, I don't even have to call them to say, yes, they want that house. So she says, all right, I'm going to have my clients, we're going to change the dates out. And 'cause it was all dated for Monday. Change the dates out. Your clients let the initial where we're changing, and my clients are going to accept your offer. I'm like, perfect. And so I called my client and I said, is your husband around? She says, yeah, we're on speakerphone. I said, well, guess what? You have a house. And they're like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm talking to her and I'm like, Alyssa, are you there? And her husband goes, I'm sorry, she's bent over crying. She can't stop crying. I'm like, okay, don't tell me this because I'm just a puddle looking for a tissue, you know? So that was to me, you know, just to be able to, and I was riding that roller coaster all week. We're closing, we're not closing, we're closing, we're not closing, we're closing, we're not closing. And I'm thinking, are my clients getting the house or not getting the house, getting the house, not getting the house, you know, and finally they did. But I just let them have that week smooth. We had scheduled a whole bunch of houses on Saturday to look at. And I said, I'm canceling those. Let's go look at this house and show the kids because they haven't seen it. And they were like, oh my gosh, and running around like, I got my own bedroom. Yep. Each one of you have your own bedroom. I know. After sharing a bedroom, they all got their own bedroom. And you know how Cape Cod is, the oldest child, he's got the upstairs. That's his man cave. He's already got it decorated. He told me. So I love those stories. Yeah. Those are my kind of clients that I can help out. I'm not making a whole lot of money on a commission, but I don't care. It's just feeds my heart.
Yeah. So Amanda had to go, but she said she lives in the red farmhouse next to the office park where Keller Williams is located.
Oh, okay. I know exactly where that is. It's such a cute area. That's a cute house.
Well, thank you, Amanda, for joining. You can finish after. So I think that's it though. What would be one thing you would leave with somebody right now if they were either going to buy, sell, frustrated with the whole process? What is something you can do to encourage them?
I would tell them to give me a call at 585-315-4941.
Yes, make sure to leave your contact info in the comments.
Let me help you. It's what I love to do. I've had people that come to me because they weren't happy with their other agent that was not, or very pressure agent, or not giving them the service that they want. I return phone calls every day to everybody. You know, you're not going to go more than 4 or 5 hours without hearing from me if you leave me a message. Very responsive. Our whole team is. It's just the way part of our nature of our team. But yeah, it's like I say to a bunch of my clients that the right house is out there. We'll find it for you. We're just going to take some time. You know, you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince. You have to look at a lot of houses before you find your dream one.
You know, we were looking when we were thinking of having another kid. It took us a while to get pregnant with Mikey. And then we were trying for another one. We're like, well, we can expand where we are. Let's see. Oh my God, it's so crazy looking at different houses and trying to keep them all in perspective and all that. But then, you know, obviously we didn't get pregnant. We have Mikey. My husband did good for his first house. This house that we have now, it's the first house he's owned, and it's going to be the last house we own. But it has everything. I think because I fell in love with this house so much, I was comparing everything to this. So how would you get somebody to not compare? I guess not that I'm looking anymore. Thank God.
I know, but you know, if you're very in love with your house, then I'll even I'll talk you out of selling it. I'll talk you into, let's talk to a contractor and see if for a heck of a lot less than the cost of buying a new house, adding on a family room and another bedroom, you know, doing something like that. That could be much more financially advantageous and keep you in the house that you love. People move for different reasons. Most people, I think on the average, I think it's like every 7 years, people move. But you have to have a reason. Your job change, getting a divorce, you know, you had another couple kids, all of a sudden you don't have any room, or everybody's left and you've got too much room. So those are mostly the reasons that I see. Or somebody died and it's an estate sale. Like a lot of houses we get, grandma died. And or grandma went into a nursing home, and so we need to sell the house. Last year when my dad died, my mom moved into the legacy and we sold her house, right? So those are the main reasons houses are for sale. And then you have to look at, like the houses that grandma lived in and grandpa probably weren't as well maintained as a house that a young couple were living in, just because they just get complacent. Not always, but sometimes. So it can be a lot of different reasons why people are selling.
Yeah. And like you said, if there's an older couple living in a house and they're selling it, how do you get a newer buying couple to picture themselves? Because it's probably not updated. It's probably got a lot of old, when my in-laws passed away, luckily we sold it to friends' kids. So they knew it needed work.
Yep.
But they were very old fashioned Italian, how do you get people to picture what it could look like for them?
So that kind of a house is I've already got the client that's wants a fixer upper. So I've got a couple young people they're looking, it's either a single young man or a young couple that are very handy. And they already know they want an older home because they can make it their own. They
Mhm.
can't afford that brand new everything. They'll make it brand new. Just give us the good bones, give us a good school
Yeah.
district, give us a nice neighborhood, and they'll do the rest. And that's how you sell those houses.
Okay.
Also, after now that the market's kind of slowed down and not as fired up, the investors are back. So those kind of houses, a lot of investors will buy, either flip or fix up and rent out, depending on what kind of investor they are.
Yeah, because my husband's like, why don't we move there? I'm like, no, I can't picture. Number one, I loved my house to begin with, but I couldn't picture how it could look all updated. And so I'm just like, I don't have that vision, I guess. But I loved where we were too. So,
There you go.
well, thank you so much for doing this. I know I can always count on you to be interviewed in my group. So
Well, thank you for allowing me to do that. I always enjoy chit-chatting with you anyhow, Michelle.
I know.
So, yeah.
So if you have any real estate questions, make sure, Laurie, to go in. The video is up now. We went live, and just go in and put all of your contact information. And if you have any real estate questions, please reach out to Laurie, and we will see you next time with another interview. Talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.